a body weight glute bridge, you're going to be laying down on the floor. And this is the simpler version of a hip thrust. You're essentially working on your glutes with a limited range of motion. So from the side, what you'll be doing is laying the shoulders down. You've got your feet just outside the reach of your hands. They shouldn't be way out in front of you like this, because that's going to be a little bit more hamstring engagement. You don't want your feet too close, because then it's going to limit your range of motion and you'll feel it more in the quads. So should be in a position so that when you lift, your shins end up just about perpendicular to the floor. So the other thing is that when you place your feet, there's a couple of ways that you can do this. If you have narrower hips, you can have your feet about as wide as your hips, or for some reason you have something you're working on where the hips are bothering you, you have an SI joint issue, maybe you will have the feet in closer. But for most people, you want your heels to be as wide as your hips, and especially women, toes are going to be turned out slightly, and you'll feel that the glutes are actually used more in that position than they would be with the toes forward. Now you can experiment with that because some people are different, but in general, feet are going to be hips width wide, toes are going to be turned out slightly. Okay, so from here, once you're all set up as far as the distance of your feet, you're going to take your upper arms and keep them pressed into the ground throughout the movement. So I find that this helps to stabilize through the midsection a whole lot more. When you're doing a glute bridge or any kind of hip thrusting pattern, you want to make sure that you're not hyperextending the spine. So I'm really lifted here. My spine is actually curved and my hips are starting to anterior tilt. So basically my glutes are not doing very much. Instead, you should have this kind of action. So your hips should be tucked under and your rib cage should be pressed downwards. So you want a lot of ab engagement too. So I'm going to push my upper arms into the floor, keep that pressure down, and as I'm pressing, my abs are staying nice and tight. It's causing my hips to stay in neutral, and it allows me to get a little bit more squeeze out of the hips and a little bit more tuck there. Okay, so not this, not overlifting, but just about here. And it will feel like, you're going to feel like, oh, I feel like I could go higher. Well, you probably could, but you're not going to get as much glute engagement doing that. That's the point of the exercise, okay? So upper arms into the floor, pushing firmly through the entire foot, especially through the heel. Don't lift your heels up off of the floor. Keep those heels down. And even if you're a more advanced lifter, you should be able to do these and get a pretty good glute squeeze and glute burn out of this. So if you are pushing through this, especially if you're a more advanced lifter, you should think about keeping the glute squeeze throughout the entire range of motion. Don't just lift without thinking about it. This is a glute exercise. Try to keep those glutes engaged, keep that pressure into the floor, and then as it gets easier, you can add more repetitions, or if you need to, you can always add a dumbbell or a barbell.